Hi, this is George, and in this short video, I want to show you what I do at the beginning and end of each work day. For me, that's Monday through Friday. Do you have a routine that you do before you start your work each day, or do you just come into your computer and check your email and check Facebook, and then you're distracted for a while? I find I have been practicing what I call my daily reviews for, gosh, at least 7 years. I would, no, actually, it's much longer than that. It was at least 10 years. And it has been transformational in my life and in my business to keep me focused and to not let important things fall through the cracks. So I hope this is helpful for you. Watch my go through what I'm going to be sharing with you. I'm going to include the link to this document in the notes to this video. And so I really encourage you to customize my process for yourself or use exactly what I do if you want. But here it goes. I'm just going to briefly walk you through this, and if you have any questions, you can comment underneath the video. Okay? All right. So in my morning review, which I've gotten down to about 15 minutes each morning, 15 minutes. What I do is I first do my phone, my mobile phone. I open my to-do list software on my mobile phone to sync. It only takes like 20 seconds to sync, but it's the first thing I do so that when I use the to-do list software on my computer, it's the latest version from my phone, because maybe during the evening last night or whatever, I might have updated my to-do list. Um, if I find that my phone is lower than 50% battery, then I will charge it. This is just a reminder for me to charge it. So just let me first clarify. This is this is what I look at. I mean, I literally have a document open each morning when I come to my computer to do my work. I open my own version of this document, and I just follow the checklist. And you might say, well, George, you've been doing this for 10 years and you still need to open the document to look at a checklist? The answer is yes. This is really important. I, I've said this before in other videos, but our brains, the human brain, is really meant for improvisation, pattern recognition, intuition, relationship, creativity. It is not so good for being a storage device. Like, in other words, the less you have to the less you have to remember, the more space you have for creativity and improvisation. So even with my own morning review, my own thing, I've been looking at this for 10 years. I still come here and I still follow, and it's obviously much quicker for me now because I know exactly what's on the list, but I still look at it so that I don't miss anything, okay? So I don't have to think about it. Did I miss something, right? Okay, so the next thing I do is I go and look at my habits. Okay, if you continually, every day, remind yourself of what habits you are building, the good habits you're trying to build, you are much more likely to build those habits because you're giving just a bit of focused attention on them every day. Does that make sense? So that's what I do, first thing in the morning when I check. This is a free app online that I check because that's where I put my habits. And as I look at each habit that I'm creating, I take a moment and I just look at the habit and I say yes to it. And the next one, yes. And I actually try to envision, if I need to, if it's been difficult, I try to envision where and when I'm going to do that habit and how I'm going to do it. Even if it takes me 5 seconds to envision just the starting of the habit, it's helpful. And then the next thing I do is I do my daily mental workout and check my success log. This is from a book, this process is from a book called Executive Toughness. And I recommend that you check out my summary by clicking here and then clicking this link, and that'll open up my summary of the book. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay, let's go back to the things. Okay, the next thing I do is prioritize my tasks, and I look down my to-do list and I see, is there anything that I actually need to do today? Because a lot of times we're ambitious and we put a bunch of things that are due for a particular day, but come the morning of the day, you don't you you have more perspective that same morning. So you say, well, what do I really need to do today? And so then I will put a star next to the few items I know I really need to do today, and I believe I can accomplish it today. Otherwise, I try to delete the item. This is a practice. This is not easy. It's kind of like we gather stuff in our closets. We gather things in our to-do list. that we think would be nice to do, wouldn't be wonderful. But I will tell you, we need to practice pruning items from our to-do list more. And I have a whole set of notes for you to inspire you to practice pruning more, simplifying your life more by simplifying your to-do list. So I've given you a bunch of notes here from a book I loved reading called Essentialism. Anyway, you can be inspired by clicking on this, by clicking here and then clicking on this link to go there. Okay. If you cannot eliminate it, it must be important because you just intuitively think you have to do it, but it's not urgent because you cannot do it today. So it must not be important and urgent. But it's still important. If you can do it right now, do it if it takes less than a minute. Otherwise, make sure there's some scheduled time on your calendar today to actually do some things. So sometimes I schedule an hour in my calendar that day to say various tasks that are, that need to be get done. Okay. Otherwise, put it as a due date for another day, or just remove the due date altogether. And you could just look at your to-do list without the stuff that don't have due dates when you have some extra time. If you're participating in an accountability group, I have this thing called One Thing. You can click on the example here to go and check it out. Then that's where you check in with the accountability group. Appointments. Do you need to prepare any appointments today? If you're meeting with someone, it'd be nice if you quickly looked at something where they're active on social media to see what's been important to them lately, for example, on their Facebook profile or LinkedIn or Twitter or something like that. Do you need to send them a reminder? Are you clear who is calling who? I now use a software tool called Acuity Scheduling that takes care of the reminders and who is calling who. So I do recommend that. And finally, I take just a moment to do my email. I clear my email inbox at the end of the day, but not at the beginning. At the beginning of the day, I think it's a bad idea to clear your inbox at the beginning of the day because you spend way too much time. Whereas at the end of your day, you want to finish your day. And so you have a much more natural motivation to be much more efficient at clearing your inbox. So in the morning, I only look at what's urgent and important, like a client has an urgent and quick question, I can quickly answer that. I recommend that you click here and click on this link to go to my blog post about how to manage your email. I have been managing my email very, very effectively for more than 10 years, and I've written about that process, and I recommend you try that. If you have a lot of email that you need to clear, and you don't think you can do it in that half hour or hour at the end of your day, then you might need to plan extra time in your schedule to do email that day. Okay? Finally, real quick, I'm running out of time here, but end of day review, look at your calendar. Is there anyone you need to follow up with based on your meetings today? Anything you need to reschedule if something didn't happen? Any client stories you need to gather if you met with a client and they had a good story about working with you, or any aha moments? Tomorrow's appointments you need to prepare. Okay, this can be eliminated if you do the morning preparation for appointments, or if you prefer to prepare for the next day's appointments instead of on the same morning, then you can eliminate the morning one and just do the evening one. Clear your notepad. I have this thing, a document open all day long, just a place where I can quickly put notes, ideas. And during my end of day review is where I take those ideas and put it in the right places in my to-do list. And then I clear today's items on my to-do list. It's self-explanatory there. I clear my tabs on my computer browser. I clear my computer desktop. My desktop is actually clear at the end of each day. I'm pretty proud of that. I update my habit things, and then I finally process my email. And again, you can follow my system. This is the same link to that blog post. So I hope that's helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know below the video. I hope this is helpful. Take care.